to another episode of BAM GPG. I'll be your host, Ben.
And I'll be your co-host, Bryson.
And today we have a special guest with us here today, the Green Bay Grinch.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, Bryson, you want to go ahead and kick the show off here today?
Yeah. How long have you been the Green Bay Grinch?
Since last year, November 23rd, on my birthday. So, yeah, year and a half.
Year and a half. And what was your inspiration for becoming the Green Bay Grinch?
It was more just like a knockoff thing. It was like, because everyone used to see me on TV, and they're like, oh, there he is, there he is, there he is. And I thought I could hide, but I couldn't without people knowing who I am. I guess I just stuck out.
Yeah, and it's kind of fun for us because we go to a lot of the home games at Lambeau there. So one of the things we like to do when we kind of get into the stadium there, it's almost like where's the Waldo type of thing, right? So we get in there, we're always looking to see where the Grinch is sitting in there. So
yeah, usually I sit by the end zone. So basically, anywhere around the end zone.
Yeah, I think we've noticed you kind of corner end zone there a couple different times this year.
Yeah, that's where I usually be because some Packer players give high fives and stuff. So I'm usually over there or maybe by the tunnel, but nothing by the 50-yard line.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's your experience been like being the Green Bay Grinch at Lambeau? What are some of the good moments, some of the bad moments?
At Lambeau or just in general?
We'll start with Lambeau.
Lambeau, it's a treat, I guess you want to say. It's a mixed bag, I guess you want to say. Good people, bad people, drunks, but just whoever. Basically, everyone just approaches me all friendly, so it's like 1 out of 5 people.
No, Lambeau's absolutely. We love going up there. It's a fantastic experience, and like you were saying, it's a melting pot of people up there.
It is. It's just like it. Overall, it's a nice place compared to other stadiums.
Yeah.
Like, people are all friendly. They don't care. It's just one of those things where you have to be there to experience it.
It is. No, absolutely. And we've been to some road games too, and you just don't have that, I want to call it Midwest nice, but it's really the Green Bay nice, right? Because we've been to games in Chicago, some other Midwest places, and they haven't been nowhere near where Lambeau is, for sure.
It's just like we just shower people with niceness. That's basically it.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcoming to everyone.
Pretty much. Who cares if you're a Bears fan, sad to say, or a Lions, Vikings, whoever.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are your some of your recommendations for attending games at Lambeau Field?
Well, it depends on who you are, I guess you want to say, and what you want to do. Like, I have my places where I go. Like, I usually hang out with Lot 1, or I know there's Titletown, where there's a bunch of kid activities over there. Or if you're hungry, there's a bunch of bars down the road from Lambeau.
Yeah, absolutely. Lot 1's definitely a place to go for tailgating there. Hey, Titletown, you mentioned Titletown. That's one of the places we like to go quite a bit. Bryson likes going out on the field there, and it always seems like they have some kind of activities going on out there as well.
Yeah, they basically have anything for all ages, I guess you want to say, from 5 to 95, so that's always nice.
Yeah, absolutely. There's something for everyone to do there, for sure.
Yeah. What was your most memorable Packers game?
Oh, all time or with the Grinch?
It can be either.
Either? I'll give you both. Probably for the Grinch. That's a hard one. But for the all time, probably back, I think it was 2000, where basically it was against the Vikings. I was there when Antonio Freeman did that catch. That he did what catch?
Yes, I remember watching. It was a Monday Night Football game. I remember watching that game. Yeah, right at the end of the game there.
From there, it just kind of stuck to me, being like, this is cool. Yeah, I was like so young. I didn't know anything about football. I didn't know much about football, only how they threw. I didn't know about quarterbacks. I knew about wide receivers. I didn't know much about football. I was just getting started to knowing everything.
Yeah, and I mean, going to an environment like that too. I mean, that'll consume you, especially a catch like that. Even because I was younger too. You know, I remember watching that on TV and just seeing that. Initially, I thought he dropped the ball, and then he gets up and starts running
Hmm
with it. And
It's
yeah,
like
no,
back then. Whoops, sorry. Like
no, go ahead.
back then when you see those catches, it's just like it's unheard of. Nowadays, you see all these tip catches. It's just like that's awesome.
It is. Yeah, no, absolutely. So, how many Packer games has the Grinch been to, and then
The
how many have
Grinch.
you been to personally?
Oh, I know. Pretty, I know. Well, last season I went to 14. The season before that, 20. The season before that, 9. And throughout my lifetime, I have it written down somewhere. I have to figure out how many, but it's pretty high up there.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's. I think I can't remember where I'm at total, but I think Bryson, you're probably 23, 24 game range. So we do the same thing. So I kind of track everything in a spreadsheet where I'll have like visitor score, home score, margin of victory. I kind of geek out on all that just to kind of see um,
Yeah,
what
it's
the
pretty
games have
fun.
been like since. Yeah, absolutely. It's almost like keeping a scorecard in baseball, kind of.
Hmm
Absolutely. So we've touched on Lambeau here a little bit, so just wanted to get your experience on the road here a little bit. So, of all the road games, what's been your favorite city or stadium to visit?
Probably Seattle because
Seattle.
of basically the stadium with they're saying it's super loud, and then on top of that, when I was there, they did a light show with drones and stuff, which was super cool. Compared, I went to SoFi earlier this year. I mean, last year. I didn't like it as much because it was so technology. It's so, I guess, computer operated stuff instead of old fashioned way and all that. I'm more of the old fashioned vibes than the new vibes.
Yeah, no, that's one thing. We went up to the game in Minnesota this year, and that U.S. Bank Stadium. It's nice, it's a new stadium, but as you were saying, it really doesn't have that gritty old school football feel to it. It's to me, football's got to be played outside in the elements. It just
That's where
doesn't
I'm
feel
at
right
too.
being indoors.
It just
Yeah,
feels weird.
yeah, I completely agree. So I want to touch on Seattle a little bit because that'd be interesting. I wouldn't mind, sometime in the future, getting to a game up there. What was it? Was that during the Legion of Boom? And
Oh
is it
no, that was
truly that
basically
loud?
I was basically there this year in December. I was
Okay,
there
so you went to
earlier.
the game there this year.
Yeah. It was like a 60-40 Packer ratio where we
Yes,
just
so
took
we watched that
over.
on TV. Yeah, you could hear it on TV. I mean, you guys certainly came through. You could hear the "Go Pack Go" chants for sure.
Yeah. It was a great time. Food, everything.
Yeah, I would imagine. So, the draft this year, it's in Green Bay. Is the Grinch attending?
Oh, probably, yeah. I already requested off and I got it approved off, so most likely I will.
Yeah, should be a good time. It'll be interesting to see how they pull everything off.
For
It's
real, I'm kind of curious about all the setups and basically where everything's going to be and all that. Because every time I look at Lambeau Field, I'm like, how are they going to pull this off? They said they can't do a Super Bowl up here, but they can pull off the draft.
yeah,
I'm kind
yeah,
of,
it's gonna be interesting because I mean, you look at Detroit. It was the draft was in Detroit last year, correct?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you look how many people showed up to that, and it's just, I mean, Green Bay's relatively, for compared to other NFL cities, it's a small town,
It
so
is.
it'll be interesting, as far there's not a whole lot of hotel options. It's crazy some of the Airbnb prices I've seen going for the draft. They're
I
10,
know.
20, $30,000 a night. And
I
it's like,
saw that. I'm just
holy
like, I'd
cow.
rather you, because I live 25 minutes away from Lambeau Field. I'm just like, I'll just drive up here.
That's the way to do it. Yeah, you almost have to. It's pretty wild. So, I kind of want to go back to the road games here a little bit. So we kind of touched on your favorite there in Seattle. What have been some of your least favorite? Or what are some of the ones you've had more of a negative experience in?
Oh, well, at first I wanted to. Well, I went to Philly. That was quite a journey because basically people was worried about me going to Philly, and they were freaking out because this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. Me, I didn't have a problem. Per-
Yeah,
Personally, personally, I was just like whatever, and basically when I went, yeah, people were trash. They were basically talking down to me, calling me names, getting peed on, all these things. It's just like I wish I could repeat it, but since we're on the podcast, I can't repeat what they all said. It's just too
it's
bad. It's
it's
just
yeah,
terrible. And it's just one of those
that's
things.
wild.
And it's just one of those things where it's just like it's what it is. You just got to
Yeah,
accept that that's who their fan base is. And if you have a thick
it
skin, you're good.
it
But
is.
at the same time, but
Yeah,
at the
so
same time, don't waste your money going.
yeah, I mean it's definitely not welcome there. That's for sure. So did you drive out or did you fly out to Philadelphia?
I flew out. I basically booked my flight that Monday. And basically, I left that Saturday, got there at night, went to the Sunday game, and then got home on Monday.
Wow. Yeah, so when we actually attended that game too. So we were initially going to fly up there and got a text about 1 a.m. in the morning saying our flight was canceled and they had automatically rebooked us for Sunday. I was like, well, that's not going to work. The game's on Sunday. So we ended up Bryson had a basketball game on Saturday morning. We finished that and then we're located just north of Iowa City here in Iowa. So we ended up driving. It was almost 16 hour straight drive out there.
Oh wow,
So yeah, so we
dedication.
got there about 3 a.m. Got a little bit of a shut eye before the game, but just similar experience to you. There were some, who were welcoming, not as belligerent as others. But certainly I've never had so many fingers in my face. That's for sure. But just
Yep.
the
Same here.
your comments as you're walking through the concourse. It's just wild. It's absolutely wild. We had this one younger kid, had to have been probably in his early 20s. We got to our seat. He got there shortly after we got to our seats, turned around and started flipping us off right away, telling us how it's going to be a long game. And I think he was passed out probably halfway through the first quarter, just slumped
Yeah,
over in his chair. So
that's crazy. Yeah, the people where I was sitting, they were basically hugging me, giving me high fives and stuff, and I'm like, this is weird. And
yeah,
they're like, oh,
yeah,
this is the brotherly love in us. I'm like, you guys talk all bad, and then when I stand by my seat, you guys give me hugs and stuff. Like, huh?
yeah. Well, it was interesting. I mean, it's just a rowdy group. We were where we were sitting. There's some older gentlemen about a roll down from us. Season ticket holders for the Eagles, and had some younger group, probably in their 30s, sitting right above them there. And boy, they were about fighting each other over standing. They were getting upset that one group wasn't standing up, and they're about to go to blows over that. And I was like, holy cow, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you saw basically about this 18-year-old passing away from climbing up at that pole.
Oh, I didn't see that. That must have
Yeah,
been
yeah,
after the championship game, huh?
yeah, it was after the championship game. Some kid decided to climb up a pole and died. It fell.
That's wild. I
Yeah,
know. I don't know if they still practice it or not, but they used to grease those poles to try to thwart that a little bit.
that's what I heard too. But yeah, that was going to be my second favorite stadium to go back to. But after hearing all that, and then someone running 10 people over, it was just like, yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, probably not. It's one of those things, I check the box, been there, I've done that, but certainly don't know if I'll go back
That's
for
basically where I'm
sure.
at.
Yeah. What about you, Bryson? What was kind of your thoughts on Philadelphia when we went there?
Yeah, I feel like I kind of liked it, but I didn't at the same time.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at with it too. So, kind of looking ahead to this next year, Grinch. What games are you planning on attending this next season?
Well, I was thinking about doing Arizona, the Browns, Cowboys. and that was it. But something's telling me just go to all 17.
Boy, that would be a trip. That would definitely be a bucket list item. I know for myself to down the road to be able to attend them all.
Because 2 years ago, I basically attended all of them. Well, since last year I went to 14, the year before I went to 20. So
Yeah, so you're right there. You're almost got it.
it's just like, might as well just do it this year.
Yeah. And we kind of looked ahead at some of our home games this year, and boy, there are going to be some. There's going to be some tough matchups, but it's going to be exciting games at home.
I agree. Like the Ravens, I saw the Bengals. I was just like, that's cool. Who else did I
Yeah.
see?
Yeah. So Cincinnati, Baltimore's going to be there.
I know
Commanders.
playing Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Philadelphia's coming to Green Bay, so we'll get a chance to kind of show them some hospitality in a way.
Yes. And then, yeah, we got Vikings, Lions, Bears, Eagles, Commanders, Ravens, Bengals, and then Panthers.
Hmm.
Yeah, and even the Panthers, you know, I kind of look to see how they finished the season this past year, and you know they could be scary if they continue to develop like they were towards the end of the year.
Hmm. I have a feeling this is going to be a tough year for us.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's definitely going to be a year where we're going to need to see a lot of growth and development out of some of our younger guys. Absolutely, and I think you know this off season we're certainly going to have to add some pieces as well. You know, defensively, I think we probably need to get a little more stout on the line, and then you know what are we doing with Jair? You know, there's a disconnect there somewhere, but
It's sad to say, I say get rid of him.
that's kind of where I'm at too. You know, and it's too bad because when he is on the field, you know, he is an elite quarter, but that's
He
the
is.
problem when he is. Yeah,
We need someone there consistently.
yeah, absolutely, I agree. And then kind of looking at the offensive side too, you know, we really struggled to get the ball moving, especially towards
Hmm.
the latter part of the season. And we have a decent group of young wide receivers. I feel like we're missing that 1A guy, right? We're
Yeah,
missing that.
we do need that wide receiver one.
Yes. Yep.
Because
I
what
think.
I noticed that we're missing a pass rusher and the wide receiver one.
Yep. We're missing that.
Hmm.
And Bryson and I kind of looked at you know what's available there. You know, there's been some rumors with DK Metcalf
I heard
as
that.
a Yep. I mean, he's got the size that we're going to be missing with Christian Watson being out because it doesn't look like we're going to get him until probably week 12 or later next year.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. So that'll, I mean, certainly be a size we could use. You know, there's some rumors floating out there too about possible reunion with Devontae Adams.
That's what I heard too.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. I mean, he's a great guy. Seems to fit in well in Green Bay. We never had any issues with him there.
Mm-mm.
So, and then another interesting one, and I just don't know if Cincinnati lets him go. You know, I think if they can't strike a deal, they'll probably franchise him. But T. Higgins
I can see that.
would be another one.
We'll get CD Lamb. How about that?
I'd be happy. We need somebody who can beat man coverage, right? Far too often this year, you just saw teams manning us up and really getting after Jordan Love. We need to take some of the pressure off him and make them respect our receivers a little bit.
I agree.
So, um, so we touched on your goals for this year as far as games. So if you're looking at, you know, obviously Lambeau's kind of 1A for stadiums and experiences, in my opinion. But if you look at other stadiums, what would be your bucket list game that you haven't already attended?
Um. Hmm. Good question. Probably the Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens Stadium. I think it's
Yes, yeah,
MAT Bank Stadium.
yep,
Something like that.
That's definitely a fun play. Gosh, it was probably 11, 12 years ago now, so I'm sure it's a different environment. Even it's probably improved ever since then. But you know, I went there to a road game. That was back when Aaron Rodgers was quarterback. I think Randall Cobb actually broke his leg that game. That was the
Oh,
game where he broke his leg. Yeah, but yeah, it was fun. It's one of those outdoor stadiums. Got a great environment. It's a fun city to be in.
or I'll
Absolutely.
probably go to Kansas City.
Yes, that was kind of my thoughts. That's one of those stadiums. Like you mentioned with Seattle, where they really complement the noise coming in there. I just want to kind of experience, see if it's what they say it is. Right. So
Hmm.
Kansas City would certainly be a fun one.
Yeah, I want to know if they talk about the hype like they say it is, but who knows?
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. What about you, Bryson? What would be one of your bucket list games?
Probably Commandos.
The Commanders?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a fun one. You hear a lot of bad things about their facility, though. You
You
don't know,
do.
or they may be in plans of building a new one, and you having a team like they have now might prompt them to kind of start putting some money back into their franchise. And it seems like they're heading in the right direction, so possibly. But we get, as we mentioned earlier, we do have the Commanders at home this year, so that should be a fun one. Getting to see Jaden Daniels and that Washington team. So
Agreed.
looking at the Super Bowl here, Grinch, what are your thoughts on the Super Bowl this year?
I'd rather look at the commercials because
I agree.
for me, it's just like I don't. I'm a fan of a fan. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I would rather see different teams go. That's just me because it's just like I don't want to watch a rematch. It's just like we've already seen this. I'd rather see two different teams go at it, and that's just
Yeah,
my opinion.
yeah, I agree. And then the championship weekend, I'm sure we were probably with the majority of football fans. We were really hoping for the Commanders and Bills Super Bowl, and we got the exact opposite of what we did
Mhm.
want. So
That's what I heard. That's
it's a
all.
tough one. Yeah, I mean, you get that Chief fatigue, absolutely, but then
Hmm.
Philadelphia. I mean, just based off the experience that we had while we were in the city, it's tough to pull for them. You know, the only reason I may pull for Philadelphia is I like Saquon. I like him as a player. I think he's a great person. And then we're big. We're from Iowa, so we're big Hawkeye fans. So
All right,
Cooper DeJean, yeah,
all
Cooper
right,
DeJean on the Philadelphia.
makes sense.
Yeah. So, but yeah, again, it's one of those games where it's like, we could have done without these two teams again.
For real, it's just like sad to say, I'm sick of hearing about the Chiefs, the Chiefs, the Chiefs. It's just like back in the day with the Patriots. It's just
Yes.
like
Yeah.
good for for their team.
You get
Don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing them or anything. It's just one of those things. It's just like I'd rather turn on sports and hear that the Lions and the Browns went to the Super Bowl. Holy cow,
yeah.
this is cool. Instead of hearing
Yep.
Chiefs and Eagles. Here we go. It's going to be a
Yes.
high school saga again. I guarantee you. If the Chiefs win, Taylor Swift's going to get proposed.
Is that your prediction? I could see that.
Like it's going to be a love story all over again, and she's going to write music about it. So, like that's my prediction, but I'm not trying to sound cocky about her or anything. She does good with what she does. It's just one of those things where it's just like I'm sick of hearing it from the media.
Yes. Yep. I mean, they certainly seem to overplay it a little bit there.
So
Absolutely. What are your thoughts on the Super Bowl there, Bryson?
Yeah. Probably the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean that Chiefs. I call it fatigue, right? So the Chiefs fatigue. I mean it's a real thing. Like you mentioned, it's the same thing as with the Patriots dynasty back in the day. You got sick and tired of seeing Tom Brady and Bill
hmm.
Belichick just every year, just finding a way to win it. And yeah,
Yep,
especially as Packer fans, it's tough because we've had so many heartbreaks in the playoffs.
I
Even
know.
during
It's
like
just like no matter where you
yeah,
look at it, it's just one of those things. Like we get so close, then it's just like just kidding.
yes, and one of the ones, and we would have played the Patriots in this Super Bowl. It's or we were playing the Seahawks in Seattle. There, it was one of those games we had it won, right? So, and for us to lose that game, we needed everything to go wrong that could go wrong, and it did,
Pretty much.
including an onside kick there at the end of the game. So
Hmm.
it's been some heartbreaks. We were at that 49ers playoff game at Lambeau here 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years
Fun.
ago now.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, and it's great. It's probably one of my most memorable like environments because you had the snow coming down, and obviously you have that Lambeau field cold, but it's one of those games where special teams haunts us, right? So we had that block
Hmm.
punt, the missed field goal, and yeah. So and still today, I feel like we're probably lower third of the league in special teams, and I just feel like if we could get that in the middle of the pack and just leave it up to our offense and defense to win the games, would be much better.
I agree.
So, and then I saw they re-signed. Well, they didn't re-sign him. They added another year onto his deal for Rich Fasaccia, so he'll be
Okay.
back for another 2 years with us. So we'll see what that does. I don't feel like he's vastly improved us since he's gotten there, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So what's your message to Packer fans here, Grinch, before we go?
Do I even have a message today? Just be yourself and have fun with life. That simple, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Do what you enjoy doing, right?
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. So just enjoying myself and let things come to you.
Yeah, and as you mentioned earlier, for those listening, if you're thinking about planning a trip to Lambeau Field, certainly do it.
Do it.
Make a weekend of it. Explore the city a little bit. Take the stadium tours. Get lost in the pro shop. Hall of Fame. It's fantastic to go through that as well. So if you're thinking about it, do it. And then on game day, be looking out for the Grinch. You'll find them there front row somewhere. Absolutely. You got anything else for us, Bryson?
No.
All right. Hey, well, we certainly appreciate you joining us today, and hopefully we can have you back here in the future.
No, let me know. Keep me posted.
Absolutely.
I'm usually free every day, so until it's football season.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe we'll do something around Lambeau during the season up there. That'd be fun.
Oh, works for me.
Collaborate up there. So, all right, Bryson.
As always.
Go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go.